Good morning, guys. We are on our last story of our Unit 4 text. This is week 3, and it is titled, My Breaking In. So we know in general, titles have something to do with the story we're reading. They usually are important in helping us understand maybe the main idea or something that's important in the story. And this title is a little different. My Breaking In. What in the world does that mean? So we're going to kind of keep focused on that as we read today. As we preview the text, we see that it's an excerpt from the story Black Beauty. It's one of Dr. Hastie's favorites growing up. It's a little bit of a difficult read, language-wise, but I want us to take a quick picture walk, and we see one of the reasons why it's Dr. Hastie's, one of her favorites. We see Black Beauty down there at the bottom. As we skim through the pictures, I've noticed there's a lot of pictures of kind of equipment used for writing. Okay, so I wonder if that is a clue into what might happen in our story. Okay, we have this idea of what this breaking in means. So of course, the first paragraph here on page 22, we have the italics, which gives us the back story of the story we're going to read, so we kind of understand what's happening. Black Beauty is a story about the life of a horse, told by the horse himself. So if it's told by the horse himself, we already have the idea or the understanding that it's going to be first person point of view, because it's told by Black Beauty. So that already lets us know we can be looking for those eyes, some of those deeper feelings and thoughts of the actual horse, which will be kind of fun because we don't get to have those when we talk to horses. The book was written by Anna Sewell and published in 1877. Sewell uses the first-person point of view to give readers a first-hand account of a horse's life in England in the late 1800s. As Black Beauty is passed from one owner to another, he describes how some people treat him with kindness while others are very cruel. The author believes strongly in the humane treatment of animals, as she wanted to communicate that idea to her readers. So this is pretty important, just in understanding the author's point of view, okay? And so she wants to really use this story to help us understand the way we should treat animals. In the passage from chapter 3, Black Beauty explains to the reader how he was first broken in. So here we have that idea from the title, Breaking In, how he was first broken in. As we read, we're listening for those key details, the details that explain the plot and what might come next and how Black Beauty might be thinking and feeling. I was now beginning to grow handsome. My coat had grown fine and soft and was bright black. I had one white foot and a pretty white star on my forehead. I was thought very handsome. My master would not sell me till I was 4 years old. He said lads ought not to work like men, and colts ought not to work like horses until they were quite grown up. So we kind of know what Black Beauty looks like in this paragraph. We have some details that explain the way he looks. And then we have this idea that he won't be sold until he's 4 because his owner doesn't think that colts should work like a horse until they were quite grown up. So he's kind of protecting him from being worked too young. I'm going to star that because I think that's probably a key detail from number 1, just in understanding the beginning of his life. We know that he was with the same owner. When I was 4 years old, Squire Gordon came to look at me. He examined my eyes, my mouth, and my legs. He felt them all down. And then I had to walk and trot and gallop before him. He seemed to like me and said, "When he has been well broken in, he will do very well." My master said he would break me in himself, as he should not like me to be frightened or hurt. I love that. I'm kind of like the author Anna, aren't I? He lost no time about it. For the next day he began. So here we have the breaking in begins. Now we have a little bit of a clue here as to what breaking in might mean, because it says that when he has been well broken in, he will do fine. Okay, so we have the idea that breaking in, it must be some kind of action. And we know that the owner wanted to do it himself because he didn't want him to be frightened or hurt. So now we kind of know that breaking in could be something a little scary for a horse. Maybe it could not be, depending on who was doing it. Everyone may not know what breaking in is. Therefore, I will describe it. Okay, so here we have some good clues coming up. Here's our definition. It means to teach a horse to wear a saddle and bridle, to carry on his back a man, woman, or child, to go just the way they wish, and to go quietly. So here we have the definition of breaking in, which is to become rideable. And safe for someone to ride. So that was nice. We didn't have to think too hard. Besides this, he has to learn to wear a collar, a crupper, and a breeching, and to stand still while they are put on. Then to have a cart or a chaise fixed behind so that he cannot walk or trot without dragging it behind after him. And he must go fast or slow, just as the driver wishes. Okay, so this was a great paragraph to describe breaking in. So now we know that Black Beauty is going to learn how to be ridden and to drive a cart safely. So now we see this picture at the top of the page, and this is called a bridle. And it's what we put on a horse to ride them. You see it has a little metal piece of bit that goes in their mouth and straps that go around their head to hold it on. He must never start at what he sees, nor speak to other horses, nor bite, nor kick, nor have any will of his own, but always do his master's will, even though he may be very tired or hungry. But the worst of all, when his harness is once on, he may neither jump for joy nor lie down for weariness. So you see, this breaking in is a good thing. It's interesting, because he uses the word here, worst of all, but then he says that it's a great thing. I had, of course, long been used to a halter and a headstall, and to be led about in the field and lanes quietly, but now I was going to have a bit and a bridle. My master gave me some oats as usual, and after a good deal of coaxing, he got the bit into my mouth. Then he got the bridle fixed, but it was a nasty thing. So does he like his bridle? Those who have never had a bit in their mouths cannot think how bad it feels. It is a great piece of cold, hard steel, as thick as a man's finger, to be pushed into one's mouth, between one's teeth, and over one's tongue, with the ends coming out at the corners of your mouth. Okay, so I just want to make a note over here that this paragraph talks about the behavior that is expected, and this paragraph is describing the bridle. Okay, page 25. And it is held fast there by straps over your head, under your throat, around your nose, under your chin, so that no way in the world can you get rid of the nasty hard thing. It is very bad. Oh, it makes me sad. Yes, very bad it is. At least I thought so, but I knew my mother always wore one when she went out, and all horses did when they were grown up. So, what with the nice oats, and with my master's pats, kind words, and gentle ways, I got to wear my bit and bridle. This sentence is interesting to me because this to me kind of describes a change in his thinking. It's kind of like up here, he's talking about how horribly bad it is, but then it almost sounds like towards the end that he talks about it being kind of a privilege that he gets to wear one because all the other grown horses did and his mom did, so now he gets to too. Next came the saddle. Let's see how he feels about the saddle. But that was not half so bad. My master put it on my back very gently, while old Daniel held my head. Then he made the girth fast under my body, patting and talking to me all the time. Then I had a few oats, then a little leading about. This he did every day till I began to look for the oats and the saddle. At length, one morning, my master got on my back, and he rode me around the meadow on the soft grass. It certainly did feel odd, but I must say I felt rather proud to carry my master, and as he continued to ride me a little every day, I soon became accustomed to it. So we have the saddle and him being ridden here. Okay, we're going to stop here for today, and I want to recap what ideas we highlighted and notes we made that we thought might be key details. So understanding what's happened so far, we have the description of Black Beauty being broken in. So key details, okay? It's a key detail, I think, that the first owner kept him until he was a little grown up, okay? When he turned 4, the breaking in began. And we have that definition of breaking in. Then on page 24, we have the understanding of how he should act, which is probably a key detail. Then we have the bridle. And I think it would be important to kind of recap as a key detail how he felt about the bridle, but how his thinking kind of changed, because I think that also leads him into how he feels about being ridden, which is kind of our last detail. Now he's being ridden. So we have kind of those definitions. Now, if we're describing this in a summary, we don't need to go into depth, which means we don't need to talk a lot about all his feelings as much as the expectation of what happened. So how is he expected to behave? We can talk about the way he thought and how it changed, because that really kind of helps us understand that Black Beauty felt proud to like now being ridden and carrying his master on his back. So that kind of helps us see how his mindset changes from a horse that was not being ridden, did not know how to ride, to a horse that's now been broke in and is being trained to carry his master. So we'll be talking about that a little more in class, and then we'll finish our story tomorrow. Happy Monday, my friends.